In the heart of Botswana lies Mombo, a realm where the wild reigns supreme. Here the land is a living canvas. Golden grasslands ripple beneath the wind, ancient acacias stand as silent sentinels, and winding channels snake through the earth, their waters a lifeline when the rains are generous. This is a place sculpted by the elements, where every feature tells a story of survival and adaptation. The Savannah teems with life. Herds of impala graze in the open, ever alert to the slightest rustle. Giraffes drift between the trees, their movements fluid and deliberate, while the air vibrates with the calls of distant birds. Yet beneath this beauty, every creature is locked in a silent contest for survival, each day a delicate balance between opportunity and danger. As the dry season tightens its grip, the transformation is relentless. The once lush plains wither under the unyielding sun, the ground fracturing into a mosaic of cracks. Dust rides the wind, settling on every surface, and the grass, once tall and green, becomes brittle, snapping beneath the weight of passing hooves. Water, the most precious resource, vanishes from the landscape. Rivers recede to mere trickles. Waterholes shrink to muddy remnants. Elephants, driven by memory and instinct, dig deep into the riverbeds, their trunks searching for hidden moisture. Around the last remaining pools, antelope and buffalo gather, their bodies tense, every muscle primed for flight at the slightest sign of danger. For the predators, the dry season is a crucible. Lions, leopards, wild dogs, hyenas and cheetahs prowl the parched earth, their hunger sharpening every sense. The scarcity of prey turns each hunt into a high-stakes pursuit, where a single mistake can mean days without food. The search for sustenance is relentless. Predators move with calculated precision, their bodies lean and sinewy from the constant struggle. A lone lioness stalks through the grass, her gaze locked on a distant herd, every step measured, every breath controlled. Competition intensifies at the shrinking waterholes. Predators and prey converge, drawn by necessity, their interactions fraught with tension. Vultures spiral above, ever watchful, waiting for the inevitable moment when the struggle for water or food turns deadly. Rivalries flare as space and resources dwindle. Wild dogs and hyenas, natural adversaries, circle each other with raised hackles, their eyes locked in silent challenge. Every encounter is a test of strength, strategy, and nerve. When a kill is made, it becomes the epicenter of chaos. Lions and hyenas clash in a storm of dust and fury, each determined to claim the prize. The victors feast, while the defeated slink away, licking wounds both physical and prideful. In this harsh world, even the smallest opportunity is seized. Jackals dart in to snatch scraps, their movements quick and cautious, always alert to the threat of larger predators. Every meal is hard-won, every mouthful a victory. For the young, the dry season is a merciless teacher. Cubs and pups stumble through the dust, their bodies unsteady, their eyes wide with uncertainty. They watch and learn, every moment a lesson in the unforgiving realities of their world. Survival demands rapid learning. Young predators shadow their elders, mimicking every movement, every tactic. A failed hunt is not just a missed meal, it is a lesson etched in hunger and exhaustion. The social fabric of the savannah is in constant flux. Prides and packs are tested by scarcity, alliances shift, and herds scatter in panic at the approach of predators. The dust swirls with the chaos of pursuit and escape, every animal driven by the same primal need. Each animal bears the marks of its struggle. The eyes of a lioness reflect the relentless sun, her gaze hardened by adversity. A leopard's whiskers are dusted with sand, its face a map of battles fought and survived. Among them is Tsebe, a formidable lioness whose reign is threatened by rivals and the unyielding drought. She leads her pride with unwavering resolve, every decision a matter of survival for her family. Motsidi, a young orphaned leopard, faces the world alone. She must master the art of the hunt, learn to evade danger, and carve out a territory in a landscape that offers no mercy to the inexperienced. Wame, an ambitious wild dog, tests the boundaries of her pack's hierarchy. Every hunt is a proving ground, every challenge a step toward leadership or exile. Khutlo, the smallest hyena in his clan, must navigate a world where only the toughest endure. He learns to read the subtle cues of dominance and submission, to seize fleeting chances, and to survive in the shadows of his kin. Across the land, resilience is tested daily. A zebra foal, gaunt but determined, leans into its mother for comfort. Herds press on, their bodies worn but their spirits unbroken, each step a testament to the will to survive. The drama of survival unfolds in countless encounters. Buffalo stands shoulder to shoulder, defiant against prowling lions. Predators and prey are bound together in a cycle as old as the land itself, each shaping the fate of the other. The rules are unyielding. Secure food, protect the next generation, and endure. A lioness drags her kill through the dust, her eyes scanning the horizon for threats, every muscle taut with vigilance. The midday heat is oppressive. Animals seek refuge in the scant shade, their bodies heaving with exhaustion. Even the predators, masters of this land, are humbled by the relentless sun. The land itself seems to hunger. Plants wilt, their leaves curling in defeat. Baboons dig among the roots, their faces drawn and gaunt, searching for anything edible in the barren soil. Movement becomes a necessity. Elephants, led by wise matriarchs, march across the plains in search of water. Predators follow the migrations, their survival tied to the fortunes of the herds. With each sunrise, the struggle begins anew. Herds shift and scatter. Predators set out on the hunt, and the land itself braces for another day of trial. In Mombo, every dawn is a promise and a challenge, a testament to the enduring spirit of the wild. In the golden haze of dawn, at the heart of the Southern Pride's territory, the queen, Tsebe, stands as a living sentinel. Her amber eyes, sharp and unblinking, sweep the brittle grasslands with unwavering focus. Every sinew in her body is coiled with anticipation, her posture radiating both authority and caution. The pride's fate rests on her vigilance, and the subtle signals she sends ripple through the group like a silent command. Around Tsebe, the pride thrives in a delicate balance. Lionesses move with practiced grace, their bodies weaving through the grass as their cubs chase, tumble, and learn the first lessons of survival. Each playful pounce is a rehearsal for the hunt, each gentle nip a lesson in discipline. The queen's presence is the axis upon which this harmony turns. Her leadership is felt in every synchronized movement, every shared glance. But the fragile peace is threatened. From the north, 3 powerful male lions emerge, their bodies casting long shadows across the Savannah. Their manes catch the wind, bristling with the promise of violence. Each deliberate stride is a challenge, their eyes locked on the pride with predatory intent. The ground trembles beneath their approach, dust swirling in their wake, a silent herald of upheaval. These brothers are bound by ambition and blood. They move as a unit, their strategy honed by instinct and experience. The lionesses respond instantly, forming a protective barrier around the cubs. Low growls vibrate through the air, a chorus of warning and defiance. The invaders' goal is clear: to seize the territory, claim the lionesses, and extinguish the legacy of rival males by eliminating their offspring. Tsebe's instincts surge to the forefront. She positions herself between the advancing males and her vulnerable cubs, her body a living barricade. Her ears flatten, her tail flicks in agitation, and her eyes never leave the threat. Every muscle is primed for action, but she knows that a direct confrontation would be catastrophic for the young lives she guards. The cubs, sensing the tension, huddle close to their mothers. Their playfulness vanishes, replaced by wide-eyed silence. The lionesses exchange glances, communicating through subtle shifts in posture and tail flicks. Every heartbeat is a countdown, every breath a silent calculation of risk and opportunity. In a moment heavy with meaning, Tsebe and her sister share a final nuzzle a gesture of both comfort and resolve. Their decision is wordless but absolute. They will act as decoys, drawing the attention of the invading males away from the pride's heart. It is a choice born of instinct, courage, and the unbreakable bond of kinship. With heads high and bodies taut, the sisters approach the intruders. Their movements are deliberate, each step a calculated risk. They confront the males with unwavering stares, their tails flicking in agitation. The standoff is electric. Predator against predator, will against will. The lioness's defiance is a challenge, their presence a living distraction. Amid the chaos, Thata, another lioness, seizes the opportunity. She gathers the cubs and the remaining lionesses, her movements swift and silent. With practiced efficiency, she leads them away from the confrontation, threading through the bush with barely a sound. The cubs follow in single file, their small bodies pressed low to the earth, glancing back at the distant turmoil. Thata guides her charges into unfamiliar territory, the landscape shifting from open grassland to rocky outcrops and thorny scrub. Every step is a test. Sharp stones bruise tender paws, and the scent of unfamiliar predators lingers in the air. Yet Thata's resolve never wavers. She pauses to encourage the smallest cubs, her low chuffs a promise of protection. Back at the pride's core, Tsebe faces the ultimate test of leadership. The new males circle her, their intentions unmistakable. They test her boundaries, probing for weakness. Tsebe stands her ground, her body language a blend of submission and resistance. She endures their advances, her spirit unbroken, knowing that only the strongest will shape the pride's future. As dusk settles, Tsebe finds herself alone, the weight of her sacrifice pressing down like the encroaching night. She gazes into the distance, her thoughts a tangle of hope and fear. The gamble she has made is immense, her own fate uncertain, her family's survival balanced on the edge of a knife. Far from the pride's former home, Thata assumes the mantle of leadership. The responsibility is visible in every cautious step, every decision weighed against the needs of the group. She scans the horizon constantly, her senses tuned to the faintest hint of danger or opportunity. Hunger becomes a relentless adversary. Thata's hunts are desperate, her energy spent in pursuit of elusive prey. The cubs' bellies remain hollow, their plaintive cries a constant reminder of the stakes. Each failed hunt chips away at hope, but Thata's determination never falters. Among her greatest challenges are the adolescent males, strong in body but immature in mind. They lounge in the shade, their energy spent on mock battles and displays of bravado. Their indifference to the pride's struggles is a source of frustration, their inexperience a liability. Thata's patience is tested to its limits. The young males refuse to hunt, expecting to be fed without effort. Their disregard for the pride's needs threatens the group's survival, forcing Thata to assert her authority with growls and bared teeth. Driven by desperation, Thata takes bold risks. She charges a pack of wild dogs, her roar scattering them long enough to seize a carcass. The cubs swarm the prize, their hunger momentarily eased. It is a victory won through courage and necessity, a testament to the lioness's resourcefulness. But the struggle is unending. Thata must defend the kill from her own nephews, her maternal fury forcing them to yield so the smallest can eat first. The social order is tested, but her resolve ensures the pride's youngest are given a chance. Frustrated and arrogant, the adolescent males eventually abandon the pride, convinced they can survive alone. Their departure is met with wary silence, the pride diminished but not defeated. The lionesses watch them go, their expressions unreadable, their focus shifting to those who remain. The young male's bravado quickly fades. Inexperience and hunger sap their strength, each failed hunt leaving them weaker and more desperate. The realities of independence are harsh, the lessons unforgiving. A reckless attempt to bring down a buffalo ends in disaster. The massive beast charges, its horns lowered in warning. The young lions scatter in panic, battered and humiliated by their own overconfidence. Their troubles escalate when a dominant male lion catches them scavenging. His thunderous roar sends them fleeing for their lives, a harsh lesson in the unforgiving hierarchy of the wild. Humbled and gaunt, the young males return to Thata. Their pride is gone, replaced by a desperate need for acceptance and survival. The pride's social fabric is tested, but the bonds of kinship endure. Thata welcomes them back, her discipline tempered by compassion. She teaches them the skills they once scorned, her patience shaping them into contributors rather than burdens. The lessons are hard-won, but essential for the pride's survival. The pride is whole once more, but the scars of sacrifice and struggle linger. A new order emerges, forged in hardship and resilience. The legacy of the Queen's sacrifice endures, shaping the destiny of the Southern pride, her wisdom and courage woven into the very fabric of their survival. In the heart of the ancient forest, where the canopy weaves a tapestry of light and shadow, a young leopard named Motsidi embarks on a journey that will test every fibre of her being. The air is thick with the scent of moss and decaying leaves, and every step she takes is muffled by the soft, loamy earth beneath her paws. Orphaned before she could learn the secrets of the wild from her mother, Motsidi is forced to rely on instinct and observation, her golden coat melting into the dappled gloom as she moves with cautious grace. Each day is a silent battle between hunger and hope, her senses sharpened by necessity, her solitude both a shield and a burden. Motsidi's earliest lessons are written in failure. She stalks a dicker through the tangled undergrowth, her body low, muscles coiled, every movement calculated. But the forest is alive with sound. Twigs snap, leaves rustle, and her inexperience betrays her. The antelope senses danger and bolts, vanishing into the thicket before Motsidi can pounce. Hunger gnaws at her belly, and the sting of defeat is a constant companion. The forest is a stage, and Motsidi's struggles do not go unnoticed. Baboons, ever watchful, chatter from the safety of the treetops, their mocking calls echoing through the branches. Birds explode into flight at her approach, their alarm calls a warning to all. Even the smallest creatures, mice, lizards, and squirrels, seem to sense her desperation, slipping away before she can close the distance. In this unforgiving world, every mistake is a lesson, every failure a mark against her survival. Driven by hunger, Motsidi is forced to the margins, scavenging from the remains of kills left behind by older, stronger leopards. She gnaws on bones already picked over by hyenas and vultures, the taste of decay a bitter reminder of her place in the hierarchy. Each mouthful is hard-won, and the risk of confrontation with other predators is ever present. One day, Motsidi's inexperience nearly costs her everything. She manages to secure a small kill and drags it up into the branches of a marula tree, seeking safety from scavengers. But as she feeds, a scrap of meat slips from her jaws and tumbles to the ground. The scent draws a clan of hyenas, their eyes glinting with anticipation, their bodies coiled and ready. Motsidi hesitates, torn between hunger and fear, and in that moment of indecision, the hyenas surge forward, their snarls splitting the silence. Instinct takes over. Motsidi leaps from the tree, her body twisting through the air, landing hard before sprinting into the undergrowth. Thorns tear at her fur, roots threaten to trip her, but adrenaline propels her forward. The hyenas give chase, their laughter echoing behind her, but Motsidi's agility and knowledge of the forest save her. She escapes, breathless and shaken, the lessons seared into her memory. In this world, hesitation is deadly. As the seasons shift, Motsidi's skills sharpen. She learns to read the wind, to move with the rhythm of the forest, to wait for the perfect moment. After countless failed hunts, she finally brings down an impala ram, an animal nearly twice her size. The struggle is fierce, her claws digging deep, her jaws locking around the throat. When the fight is over, the forest falls silent, as if acknowledging her hard-won triumph. Motsidi stands over her prize, her sides heaving, blood matting her fur. The morning sun glints off her coat, and for a fleeting moment, she is the undisputed queen of her domain. This kill is more than a meal. It is proof of her growing mastery, a testament to her resilience and cunning. Yet, the forest is not easily conquered. The impala is heavy, and Motsidi's muscles tremble with exhaustion as she tries to drag it up into the branches. Again and again she attempts the impossible, her claws scraping against the bark, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The carcass remains stubbornly on the ground, exposed to the dangers that lurk in the night. As darkness falls, Motsidi collapses beside her kill, sleep overtaking her before she can secure her prize. The forest is transformed by moonlight, shadows stretching long and thin. Hyenas, ever patient, move in with silent precision. By dawn, the impala is gone, stripped to the bone, and Motsidi is left with nothing but bitter memories and the ache of hunger. The loss is devastating, but the dry season offers no respite. Waterholes shrink and prey becomes scarce. Motsidi is forced to hunt smaller animals, hares, birds, even insects, each meal barely enough to sustain her. The earth cracks beneath her paws, and the wind carries the scent of dust and desperation, yet her spirit remains unbroken, her determination undimmed. Beyond the forest, the world opens into the vast savanna where golden grasses ripple in the wind, and danger is ever present. Here, a different story unfolds. A pack of African wild dogs, bound by blood and the unbreakable ties of family, faces their own relentless challenges. The pack is led by Mogolo, a matriarch whose muzzle is flecked with grey, her eyes sharp with the wisdom of years. Every scar on her body is a testament to battles fought and survived. She knows the land intimately, the hidden waterholes, the best hunting grounds, the subtle signs of danger. Her leadership is steady, her authority unquestioned, but age has slowed her steps, and the burden of responsibility grows heavier with each passing day. At Mogolo's side is her daughter, Wame, a young female brimming with energy and ambition. Wame is quick to learn, her senses sharp, her movements fluid and precise. She is eager to prove herself, often pushing the boundaries of discipline, her enthusiasm sometimes leading her into trouble. The pack watches her closely, sensing the winds of change. The wild dog's greatest challenge comes not from the land, but from their rivals, the Hyena clan. The two groups are locked in a constant struggle for territory, water and food. Every encounter is a test of strategy and courage. The air crackles with tension as the packs circle each other, dust rising beneath their feet, each side waiting for the other to make a move. At a contested waterhole, Mogolo's experience is invaluable. She reads the subtle cues, the flick of a hyena's ear, the shift in posture, and guides her pack to drink quickly, always alert for signs of aggression. Under her leadership, the wild dogs avoid unnecessary conflict, conserving their strength for the battles that truly matter. But not every confrontation can be avoided. When the hyenas launch a coordinated attack, Mogolo's authority is tested. The wild dogs are forced into a chaotic retreat, their unity fractured, their confidence shaken. The hyenas jeer in triumph, their dominance reinforced by the wild dog's defeat. In the aftermath, Wame senses an opportunity. She moves among her packmates, her voice urgent, her energy infectious. She reminds them of their strength, their bond, their right to this land. Eyes meet, resolve hardens, and the pack begins to rally around her, their spirits rekindled by her determination. Under Wame's bold leadership, the wild dogs launch a counter-attack. They move as one, their coordination flawless, their courage unyielding. The hyenas are driven back, their lines broken, their confidence shaken. The wild dogs reclaim their territory, their pride restored. Wame's final test comes with the hunt. She orchestrates the pack with precision, each member playing a vital role. Some driving the impala herd, others waiting in ambush. The chase is relentless, the strategy flawless. Together they bring down an impala, the kill a testament to their renewed unity and strength. The victory is more than a meal, it is a turning point. The alpha male chooses Wame as his mate, and the pack accepts her as their new matriarch. The bonds of family are reaffirmed in the aftermath of triumph, each member finding strength in the collective. As the sun sets over the savannah, Mogolo rests in the golden light, her legacy secure. Wame stands at the head of the pack, her gaze fixed on the horizon. In this wild kingdom, every journey is a crucible, every victory hard-earned. For Motsidi and Wame, the future is uncertain, but their courage, adaptability, and relentless drive have carved their place in the ever-shifting tapestry of the wild. As the first rays of dawn pierce the battered savannah, a hush settles over the land, broken only by the distant echoes of last night's battles. The great hunters, lions, hyenas, leopards, remain locked in their ancient rivalry, their calls rolling across the plains like thunder. But beneath the drama of tooth and claw, a subtler, more intricate tale of survival is quietly unfolding, woven into the very fabric of this wild kingdom. Deep within the heart of the hyena clan, life is a relentless test of endurance, intelligence, and adaptability. The clan is a living tapestry of relationships, alliances forged and broken, hierarchies constantly shifting, every member acutely aware of their place in the social order. Among them, a small male runt named Khutlo faces the most daunting odds. His fur is patchy, his body slight, and his every movement betrays a life lived on the margins. Each day he must navigate a world where the weak are tested at every turn. In this matriarchal society, power is measured in muscle and will. The dominant females rule with unyielding authority, their jaws enforcing order and discipline. Khutlo, at the bottom of this hierarchy, must tread carefully, learning to read every nuance of body language and every flicker of intent. Bullied by his peers and overshadowed by his robust sister, Khutlo clings to his mother's side. Her presence is his only sanctuary, a fleeting shield against the relentless pecking order that governs every interaction. Even at the den, the struggle for survival is fierce. His sister, stronger and more assertive, dominates their mother's attention and milk, leaving Khutlo to survive on what little he can claim. The competition is silent but merciless, shaping the siblings from their very first days. When the clan returns from a hunt, the feeding frenzy is a brutal display of strength and hierarchy. Khutlo is shoved aside, forced to snatch at scraps, tough skin, sinew and bone, while the dominant members gorge themselves. Every meal is a lesson in patience and cunning. Hunger is a constant companion. Khutlo spends his days scouring the ground for overlooked morsels, his nose twitching as he searches for the faintest scent of sustenance. At night, the growls and squabbles of his clan echo in his dreams, a reminder that safety is never guaranteed. To survive, Khutlo must be both quick and clever. He learns to anticipate the movements of his larger kin, darting in to seize a scrap before jaws snap shut. Each successful snatch is a small victory, a testament to his growing resourcefulness. The dry season tightens its grip, transforming the land into a brittle, unforgiving expanse. Carcasses litter the plains, their bones bleached by the relentless sun, a stark reminder of nature's indifference. For most, the drought is a time of hardship and loss, but for the hyenas, it brings a grim bounty. Their powerful jaws crack open bones that others leave behind, extracting nourishment from the very edge of survival. Vultures circle above, waiting for their own chance at the remains. The scavengers thrive where others falter. The clan's numbers swell, their bodies growing strong on the misfortune of the fallen. Even Khutlo, for a fleeting moment, feels the sharp edge of hunger soften as he joins the feast. Yet, every meal is a contest of wits and nerve. Khutlo must read the shifting moods of his clan, anticipating aggression and seizing opportunity in the blink of an eye. His survival depends on his ability to adapt, to learn, and to endure. The blows and snarls of his kin are constant, but Khutlo's spirit is not easily broken. Each confrontation leaves him wiser, more resilient, and more determined to carve out his place in the clan. The land itself teeters on the brink of collapse. Dust devils spiral across the barren plain, and the grass withers beneath a sky heavy with promise. But nature, ever unpredictable, is preparing to shift the balance once more. On the horizon, Thunderheads gather, their shadows racing across the land. The air grows thick with anticipation, the scent of rain, sharp and electric, heralding a long-awaited transformation. The first drops fall hesitantly, then with sudden fury. The sky opens, unleashing a torrent that soaks the earth, washing away months of dust and despair. The sound of rain is a symphony of renewal drumming on the parched ground. The thirsty earth drinks deeply, cracks vanishing as water seeps below the surface. Almost overnight, the landscape is transformed. Tiny green shoots push through the mud, signaling the return of life. Rivers, once reduced to mere trickles, surge with new energy. Grass erupts in vibrant waves, and the air vibrates with the chorus of frogs and insects, each voice a testament to the kingdom's resilience. The rains sweep away the kingdom's despair, painting the plains with colour and promise. Wildflowers bloom in sudden profusion, and pollinators, bees and butterflies, dance between blossoms, weaving new threads into the web of life. With water and grass restored, the great herds return in force. Antelope, wildebeest and zebra flood into Mombo, their hooves drumming a rhythm of renewal across the rejuvenated plains. The predators watch, alert to the opportunities that abundance brings. New life abounds. Impala calves, barely hours old, totter through the grass, their mothers vigilant and nurturing. Each birth is a fragile promise, a testament to the land's restored bounty and the cycle of renewal. For the predators, the rebirth of the kingdom is a time of opportunity and challenge. Lions, leopards, and cheetahs, survivors of the drought, now find themselves surrounded by abundance. Each must adapt to the shifting dynamics, their fates intertwined with the pulse of the land. Tsebe's pride, once fractured by hardship, gathers on the emerald plains. Cubs tumble in the wet grass, their play strengthening bonds and honing skills. Adults groom one another, reinforcing the unity that will see them through the next trial. Motsidi the leopard sharpens her instincts, stalking the new generation of prey. Each hunt is a test of patience and precision, her every movement a study in controlled power. Success means survival, and every meal is hard-won. Wame's wild dog pack, emboldened by the season's riches, welcomes a new litter. The pups, full of boundless energy, chase each other through the grass, their play overseen by vigilant adults. The future of the pack is secured by the abundance of prey and the strength of their bonds. Across the kingdom, life surges forward in a vibrant crescendo. The rains have not only revived the land, they have rekindled the spirit of every creature. The savage kingdom, reborn and teeming with life, stands ready for the next act in its eternal drama. Here, beneath the endless African sky, the cycle of struggle and renewal continues, as it has for countless generations, each life a thread in the ever-evolving tapestry of the wild. Breath. As the kingdom flourishes in the wake of the rains, a tapestry of life unfurls across the savannah, each blade of grass shimmering with new vitality. Yet beneath this tranquil dawn, a quieter force is at work, one that shapes the destiny of the land with tireless precision, rarely glimpsed but always present. Beneath the emerald waves of grass and the tangled roots of ancient acacias, a hidden world pulses with activity. Here, the true architects of the Savannah, termites, work in unison, their presence subtle, yet their impact profound. Invisible to the prowling predators above, these minuscule engineers orchestrate the transformation of the landscape from below. Millions labor in perfect synchrony, their collective effort a marvel of natural engineering. Their fortress mounds, rising like ancient monuments, are built grain by grain, each structure a testament to instinct and cooperation. Every mound is a masterpiece, its intricate architecture designed to withstand the harshest elements and the test of time. Deep within, a labyrinth of chambers and tunnels spirals downward, forming a bustling metropolis hidden from the sun. Here, the colony thrives, its every movement governed by the meticulous choreography of its inhabitants. At the heart of this subterranean city, the Queen reigns, her immense body a living engine of renewal, producing thousands of eggs each day. Attendants swarm around her, grooming and feeding, ensuring her health and the future of the colony. Eggs are ferried to nurseries where pale larvae are nurtured, destined to join the workforce or defend the colony. Armored soldiers patrol the corridors, their powerful jaws poised to repel any invader that dares breach the mound's defenses. Their vigilance is unceasing, a living shield for the vulnerable heart of the colony. As dusk cools the air, workers emerge from hidden entrances, venturing into the twilight. They fan out across the savannah, gathering dead wood, dry grass, and fallen leaves. Nature's recyclers at work. Their powerful mandibles break down the toughest fibers, transforming decay into sustenance for the colony. In this way, they recycle the savannah's detritus, returning nutrients to the soil and fueling the cycle of life. Their labor sustains not only their own kind, but the entire ecosystem, weaving invisible threads of connection through the web of life. In the damp darkness of the mound, fungi gardens flourish, meticulously cultivated by the termites. These subterranean farms convert plant matter into digestible food. The workers tend these gardens with care, harvesting the fungus and feeding it to the colony, a partnership millions of years in the making. The mounds themselves are more than shelter. They are living lungs, breathing with the rhythm of the day and night. Their spires catch the wind, drawing in cool air and expelling heat, regulating temperature and humidity with astonishing precision. The colony adapts, sealing or opening vents as needed, maintaining a delicate balance that allows life to thrive within. Around each mound, the earth is transformed, rich, dark, and fertile, churned by millions of tiny feet. Here grass grows thickest, nourished by the nutrients the termites return to the soil. Grazers gather, drawn by the bounty, and with them come the ever-watchful predators, each life entwined with the work of the silent architects below. As night falls, other specialists emerge. Aardvarks and pangolins, masters of stealth and patience, prowl the darkness in search of their insect quarry. Their claws and tongues, perfectly evolved, breach the fortress walls, feasting on the bounty within. The mounds are damaged, but never for long. By dawn, the termites are already at work, repairing, rebuilding, their resilience unwavering. Their determination is mirrored in every corner of the savannah, a silent persistence that underpins the cycles of life and death. As dusk descends, fireflies flicker above the grass, their lights a gentle reminder of the countless small lives that shape this world. The distant rumble of elephants echoes across the plains, but beneath their feet, the termites work on, undisturbed by the drama above. Indifferent to the struggles of the mighty, these tiny creatures form the silent foundation of the ecosystem. In the heart of Africa, the smallest inhabitants wield the greatest influence, their legacy etched into the very bones of the land. Alongside the termites, countless other insects, ants, beetles, and more, play their part, pollinating, decomposing, aerating the soil and feeding the multitudes. Their stories are written in the cracked earth, in fossilized traces, in the renewal of each season. The predator kingdom, so often defined by tooth and claw, is in truth shaped by the unseen labor of these silent architects. They turn dust into life, year after year, beneath the endless sky, ensuring that the savannah endures, vibrant and ever-renewing. In this vast, untamed wilderness, it is the smallest creatures who hold the greatest power, their influence woven into every breath of the living land. As the last rays of sunlight fade, the savannah undergoes a profound transformation. The air cools, shadows stretch, and a hush settles over the land. In this twilight realm, a new cast of characters emerges, creatures whose lives are shaped by darkness, whose senses are honed for survival when the world is cloaked in night. Hidden among the whispering grasses, the luminous eyes of owls flicker to life. These silent sentinels are the first to stir, their vision adapted to pierce the gloom. their hearing so acute they can detect the faintest scurry beneath the earth. With wings broad and feathers edged in velvet, owls glide through the night air. Their flight is a marvel of engineering, each feather designed to muffle sound, allowing them to pass overhead in utter silence, unseen and unheard by their prey. The barn owl, ghostly and ethereal, drifts low above the moonlit fields. Its heart-shaped face acts as a satellite dish, funneling the slightest rustle or squeak directly to its ears, enabling it to hunt with pinpoint accuracy even in total darkness. Every subtle movement in the undergrowth is a potential meal. The owl tilts its head, triangulating the source of a sound. A mouse shifting beneath the grass, a beetle crawling over dry leaves. Its ears, asymmetrically placed, allow it to pinpoint prey with astonishing precision. Perched high in the acacia branches, a pair of eagle owls surveys the savanna below. Their massive talons grip the bark, and their keen eyes scan for movement. These formidable hunters command the treetops, their presence a silent warning to all below. Their amber eyes, adapted to gather every available photon, glow in the darkness. They can detect the faintest flicker, a tail, a whisker, a heartbeat, revealing the presence of life in the shadows. Below, a rodent scurries through the grass, its world a maze of moonlit stems and shifting shadows. It moves with urgency, for it is both hunter and hunted in this nocturnal theatre. In a heartbeat, the owl strikes. Its descent is swift and silent, talons extended, eyes locked on target. The rodent has no warning, nature's efficiency at its most unforgiving. The kill is swift, the process precise. Every part of the prey is consumed, nothing wasted. In the economy of the night, survival depends on such ruthless efficiency. Elsewhere, nightjars lie motionless on the sandy earth. Their plumage, mottled and cryptic, renders them nearly invisible, a perfect adaptation for avoiding predators and ambushing insects. When the wind stirs or a larger animal passes, insects take flight. The nightjars react in an instant, their wide mouths snapping shut with barely a sound, capturing moths and beetles in mid-air. Above, bats join the nocturnal ballet. Their wings flutter in erratic patterns as they chase insects through the darkness. Using echolocation, they emit high-frequency calls, painting a sonic map of their surroundings and tracking prey, invisible to the naked eye. The night is alive with sound. Crickets chirp, frogs croak, and the calls of predators echo across the plains, each note a signal in the complex language of the dark. The scops owl's low hoot, the chittering of bats, and the distant roar of a lion blend into a nocturnal symphony. Each call marks territory, signals intent, or warns of danger. These vocalizations are more than mere noise. They are the currency of survival. Every sound is a message, a claim, a challenge, or a plea for safety in the darkness. In these hours, the savanna is a world transformed. Strength alone is not enough. Here, silence, patience, and the mastery of the unseen are the keys to survival. Every movement is measured, every sense heightened, as predators and prey navigate the delicate balance of night. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal watchers slip away. Owls return to their roosts, nightjars settle into the dust, and bats seek the safety of their hidden roosts. Their work is done, the balance of the savanna preserved for another day. In this kingdom of predators, the night belongs to those who have mastered its secrets. Each creature, whether seen or unseen, leaves its mark, shaping the rhythm of life on the endless African plains. Beneath the mirrored surface of the savanna's winding rivers, a hidden world pulses with life and danger. Here the water is not merely a passageway, but a stage for ancient dramas, where every ripple conceals a story of survival. In the cool, shadowed depths, crocodiles reign as masters of patience. Their armored bodies, sculpted by millennia, rest motionless on the silty riverbed, every muscle coiled in anticipation. They are the river's silent sentinels, their nostrils and eyes barely breaking the surface, betraying nothing of the lethal power hidden below. with skin mottled to mimic the dappled light and drifting debris. Crocodiles blend seamlessly with floating logs and tangled reeds. Their gaze is unwavering, ancient eyes scanning for the faintest tremor, a sign of prey approaching the water's edge. Small fish, oblivious to the lurking danger, weave through curtains of aquatic plants. Their silvery bodies flash between lily pads, darting in synchronized bursts to evade the shadows that stalk them. For these fish, every moment is a gamble. The river's vegetation offers shelter but also conceals predators, catfish, terrapins, and the ever-watchful crocodile. A sudden flick of a tail, a swirl of silt, and the chase is on. At the margins, the drama intensifies. An impala, driven by thirst, edges closer to the water, its delicate legs trembling with each cautious step. The crocodile senses the vibrations, calculating distance and timing with predatory precision. In a heartbeat, the river explodes. The crocodile's jaws snap shut with bone-crushing force, water erupting in a violent froth. The ambush is a blur of power and chaos, perfected over millions of years, a single, decisive strike that leaves no room for escape. Yet, the crocodile is not the only hunter. In the open water, catfish glide along the muddy bottom, their sensitive barbels sweeping the silt for the faintest sign of movement. They hunt by touch and taste, ambushing smaller fish and invertebrates with sudden lunges. Above, a pied kingfisher hovers with wings beating in rapid rhythm, its sharp eyes locked onto the shimmering forms below. With a sudden, calculated dive, it pierces the surface, vanishing in a spray of droplets. Moments later, the kingfisher bursts back into the air, a wriggling fish clamped in its beak, a testament to the precision and speed required to survive in this aquatic arena. The river teems with life and danger. Terrapins lurk in the shallows, their beaked jaws snapping at unsuspecting frogs and small fish. Each predator has honed its own strategy. Some rely on stealth, others on speed, but all are locked in a perpetual contest of wits and reflexes. Catfish, with their whiskered faces, prowl the depths, using the river's murk to their advantage. They sense vibrations and chemical cues, striking with sudden, unseen force. Life beneath the surface is a relentless game of deception and surprise. Camouflage is a shield, stillness a weapon, and a burst of speed the difference between life and death. Fish melt into the background, their colors and patterns mimicking the swaying plants. Predators wait in ambush, motionless until the perfect moment, then erupt in a blur of motion. As dusk settles, the river transforms. Shadows lengthen, and the water glimmers with the last golden rays of sun. The cycle of ambush and escape continues, unseen by the world above. In this submerged kingdom, silence reigns. Every creature is both hunter and hunted, every moment a test of skill and instinct. The riverbank conceals its secrets in dense vegetation, while the water flows on, indifferent to the struggles beneath. Here, the rulers of the underwater realm are as patient and enduring as the river itself, silent, shadowy, and always waiting for the next opportunity to strike. At dawn, the vast African grasslands awaken beneath a sky that is far from empty. Here the air is a dynamic arena, where survival is determined not by brute force, but by mastery of the skies. Raptors, the undisputed strategists of the air, command this domain with extraordinary adaptations. Their eyes, sharper than any other predator, scan the open plains for the faintest twitch of movement, a ripple in the grass, a glint of fur, the subtle shift of a shadow. A tawny eagle rides the invisible rivers of rising thermals, barely moving its wings as it glides effortlessly. From this vantage, it surveys miles of territory, its vision so acute it can spot a mouse from hundreds of feet above. Far below, ground squirrels scurry between burrows, their lives a constant gamble against the silent menace overhead. Every movement is calculated, every dash a risk. Suddenly, a fleeting shadow sweeps across the earth, sending a ripple of panic through the colony. The eagle folds its wings and plunges earthward in a breathtaking stoop, reaching speeds that defy the wind. Its descent is a masterclass in precision, timing its strike to the heartbeat of its prey. The ground squirrels scatter in a desperate burst of energy, but hesitation is fatal. One lingers a moment too long, caught in the predator's crosshairs. In a flash of talons and feathers, the eagle seizes its quarry, lifting off in a swirl of dust before the rest of the colony can comprehend the loss. Not all raptors hunt alone. Nearby, a pair of battler eagles works in silent coordination, their partnership forged by necessity and sharpened by competition. Their eyes track the horizon, alert for the telltale spiral of a vulture. Such signals mean opportunity, a carcass left behind by lions or hyenas, a chance to scavenge in a world where every meal is hard-won. The sky soon fills with rivals. Marabou storks, vultures, and kites descend in a chaotic ballet, each species vying for dominance, each bird testing the boundaries of strength and cunning. The hierarchy is fluid, determined by size, aggression, and the ability to read the intentions of others. A single misstep can mean starvation or injury. Yet, the air is not only a stage for violence. It is also a realm of remarkable ingenuity and resilience. In the acacia canopy, the lilac-breasted roller dazzles with its acrobatics, snatching insects mid-flight with a flash of iridescent blue and green. Its hunting is a display of agility and split-second timing. Below, weaver birds labor tirelessly, weaving intricate nests that sway in the breeze. Their colonies are marvels of engineering, built to withstand both predators and the relentless African sun. As the sun dips below the horizon, the air cools, and new hunters emerge. The calls of nightjars and owls echo across the plains, signaling a shift in the balance of power. The Varro's eagle owl, cloaked in dusk, waits in absolute stillness. Its enormous eyes pierce the darkness, ready to strike at the faintest sound. The sky becomes a living tapestry, woven from the flight of insects, the silent glide of owls, and the relentless pursuit of raptors. Each species adapts, innovates, and survives in a world where the rules are written in the wind. In this ever-changing aerial kingdom, every wing beat is a calculated move, every shadow a potential threat or opportunity. Here, survival is not just a matter of strength, but of strategy, adaptation, and the relentless will to master the skies. As the seasons shift, the once vibrant kingdom is seized by a drought of unprecedented severity. The land, once lush and teeming with life, is now a tapestry of dust and brittle grass, every inch scorched beneath the merciless sun. Days stretch endlessly beneath a blazing, cloudless sky. The heat is unyielding, pressing down on the Savannah like a heavy shroud, drawing every drop of moisture from the earth. Waterholes, once the heart of the wilderness, have withered to shallow, muddy basins. Cracked mud radiates outward, etched with the desperate tracks of countless animals searching for relief. The air shimmers with heat, distorting the horizon. Each breath is labored, the dry wind stinging nostrils and parched throats alike. Across the barren plains, a herd of elephants moves with solemn determination. The matriarch leads, her memory guiding the group to ancient water sources, now little more than memories themselves. Their trunks sweep the dust, probing for hidden moisture beneath the surface. They dig patiently, unearthing damp soil to quench their thirst, each movement measured to conserve precious energy. Calves press close to their mothers, sheltered in the scant shade cast by the elders. The herd's unity is their greatest defense against the harshness of the drought. In the thinning grass, a pride of lions lies low, their golden coats blending with the sun-bleached earth. They conserve energy, moving only when absolutely necessary. Hunger gnaws at their bellies. The scarcity of prey forces them to stalk the weakest, their hunts growing longer and more perilous as the drought drags on. Every decision is weighed with care. A failed chase wastes vital energy, and in these conditions even the mighty must tread carefully. Far from the open plains, a pack of wild dogs threads through brittle undergrowth. Their movements are coordinated, each member attuned to the others, maximizing their chances of success. Ears pricked, eyes sharp, they listen for the faintest rustle, a weakened impala, a careless warthog. Their survival depends on teamwork and acute senses. All across the savannah, tension hangs in the air. Every creature is on edge, senses heightened by thirst and the ever-present threat of predators. As dusk falls, a lone cheetah surveys the horizon. Its ribs are stark beneath its spotted coat, a testament to the toll the drought has taken. The smallest antelope could mean survival, but the chase will demand every reserve of water and strength. The cheetah must choose its moment with precision. As night descends, scavengers emerge. Hyenas and jackals circle the remains of failed hunts, locked in silent competition for scraps. In the darkness, the struggle for survival continues unabated. The air remains heavy, thick with dust and anticipation. The promise of rain lingers only as a distant hope, whispered on the dry wind. In the darkness, predators and prey rest uneasily, united by a single, silent wish that the rains will return, and with them the fragile promise of renewal. Here, in the drought's relentless grip, survival is a daily trial of adaptation and endurance. Each animal, from the smallest antelope to the largest elephant, reveals the resilience and ingenuity woven into the very fabric of the wild. The struggle is unending, but so too is the will to endure, until the first drops of rain finally fall. In the wake of the relentless drought, as the kingdom teeters on the edge of survival, a new drama unfolds, one played out in the shadows, beneath the silent gaze of the fading moon. Here the boundaries between predator and scavenger blur, and every carcass becomes the center of a silent contest, a delicate balance of risk and reward. At dawn, the savannah is hushed, the air heavy with the scent of decay. A pride of lions, weary from a night's failed pursuit, circles a fallen buffalo. The kill is not their own, but the hunger in their bellies leaves no room for pride. They advance cautiously, wary of the hyenas already gathered, muscular forms hunched over the prize, jaws stained dark with blood. The lion's presence is a silent challenge. A low growl rumbles in the throat of the pride's leader, met by the cackling defiance of the hyena matriarch. For an instant the two clans lock eyes, the tension palpable, the outcome uncertain. Above, a pair of white-backed vultures spiral in lazy circles, their keen eyes tracking every movement below. They wait for their moment, knowing that patience is often the scavenger's greatest weapon. On the ground, jackals dart at the periphery, snatching scraps in the confusion, their movements quick and opportunistic. The lions lunge, scattering hyenas with a burst of snarls and flashing teeth. But the victory is temporary. The hyenas regroup, emboldened by their numbers, and encircle the pride. Each side tests the other's resolve, a silent negotiation playing out in postures and stares. In this parched land, even the most powerful must yield to the persistent. As the sun climbs higher, the heat intensifies and the contest shifts. The lions, sapped by thirst and fatigue, retreat to the shade, conceding the remains to the hyenas. The scavengers descend, tearing and squabbling, their laughter echoing across the plains. Above them, the vultures finally land, folding their wings and joining the feast, their long necks weaving between snapping jaws. Every morsel is consumed, nothing wasted. This uneasy alliance, fraught with tension and necessity, ensures that even in famine, life is recycled. Each participant plays a role, the lions as hunters, the hyenas as relentless opportunists, the vultures as the final cleansers. Together, they maintain the fragile balance that sustains the kingdom through its darkest hour. As dusk approaches, only sun-bleached bones remain, picked clean and scattered across the dust. The scavengers melt into the night, and the predators recline under the stars, united for a moment by the shared struggle for survival. In this intricate web, victory is fleeting, and every meal is a testament to the silent, complex relationships that bind predator and scavenger alike. Beneath the sun-scorched Savannah, far from the chaos of tooth and claw, a different world thrives, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers carved in silence by creatures seldom seen. Here, in the cool embrace of the earth, burrowing animals have forged secret lives, their destinies intertwined with the fate of the land above. Naked mole rats, nearly blind but perfectly adapted, navigate their narrow corridors with astonishing precision. Their society is a marvel of cooperation. A single queen reigns, while workers dig tirelessly, expanding the colony's twisting maze in search of roots and tubers. In this underground kingdom, survival depends not on brute strength, but on unity and specialization. Each tunnel is mapped by scent, each chamber meticulously maintained, a testament to generations of silent architects. Elsewhere, the solitary aardvark plows through compacted soil with powerful claws, its nose twitching for the scent of termites. Night after night, it excavates new burrows, each one a sanctuary against the day's relentless heat. These abandoned shelters become lifelines for others, warthogs, porcupines, and even snakes, refugees shared in uneasy truce. In the tangle of roots, mongoose families huddle in communal dens, their ears attuned to the vibrations of approaching danger. When the shadows of raptors pass overhead, they vanish in an instant, safe within their earthen walls. Young pups wrestle in dark alcoves, learning the ways of stealth and survival long before they ever glimpse the sky. The ground itself is alive with movement. Dung beetles carve miniature tunnels, rolling their precious cargo into hidden chambers. Golden moles swim through sand, their velvety fur gliding between grains in search of insects. Each species, from the tiniest rodent to the formidable honey badger, contributes to a living network that aerates the soil, disperses seeds, and cycles nutrients, an invisible engine sustaining the plains above. Rarely the boundaries of these worlds collide. A cobra slips into a burrow, seeking eggs or unwary prey. Alarm calls echo through the corridors and the network responds. Escape routes are used, chambers sealed, lives saved or lost in the darkness. Yet, for most, the tunnels are a haven, a world apart. As the stars wheel overhead and the surface world slumbers, the hidden highways below remain alive with purpose. In their secrecy and resilience, the burrowers remind us, survival is not always a contest of strength, but often a triumph of adaptation and quiet ingenuity. As the first crack of thunder rolls across the plains, the Savannah awakens to a timeless ritual, migration. For millions, the shifting seasons are both a herald of hope and a gauntlet of peril. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles gather on the horizon, forming vast columns that ripple and surge like living rivers. Driven by instinct, they sense the distant promise of rain, the subtle greening of pastures hundreds of miles away. The journey is relentless. Hooves drum against parched earth, raising clouds of dust that blur the boundaries between predator and prey. Along the route, ancient trails etched by generations guide the herds through grasslands, across swollen rivers, and into the teeth of waiting dangers. Crocodiles lurk beneath muddy waters, their patience rewarded in sudden, explosive ambushes. On the banks, lions and hyenas prowl, attuned to the chaos, seizing the weak and the weary. High above, vultures spiral on thermals, their keen eyes scanning the procession for signs of struggle, a testament to nature's unbroken cycle of life and loss. Elephants, too, embark on epic treks, matriarchs leading their families to waterholes remembered through decades of drought and abundance. Their feet carve new paths, opening corridors for smaller creatures that follow in their wake. But the journey is not reserved for the giants alone. Swarms of red-billed quillayas cloud the sky, weaving intricate patterns as they search for ripening seeds. Monarch butterflies, delicate yet determined, flutter across continents, their migration a tapestry of endurance stitched over generations. Even beneath the surface, catfish and amphibians sense the call, navigating unseen waterways in pursuit of breeding grounds renewed by fleeting rains. Each migration is fraught with hazards, exhaustion, starvation, and the ever-present threat of predation. Yet for those who endure, the rewards are immense. Fresh grazing, vital minerals, and the chance to renew the cycle of life. The land itself is transformed by these movements. Trampled grasses regenerate, seeds are dispersed, and nutrients are cycled in the wake of countless travelers. Predators thrive, but so too do scavengers and the smallest of decomposers, each playing a part in this grand, orchestrated upheaval. As the rains recede and the herds move on, the savannah bears the scars and blessings of migration. The journey never truly ends. It is written in hoofprints, feathers, and faded trails, a testament to resilience, unity, and the ceaseless dance between survival and change. In the Great Passage, the savannah reveals its deepest truth. Life endures not in isolation, but through the shared odyssey of migration, where every step shapes the fate of the wild. Beneath the surface of every hunt, migration, and act of survival, there is a silent orchestrator, weather and climate. These unseen forces dictate the rhythm of life across the savannah, their influence felt in every heartbeat and every breath taken by the wild. As the sun arcs across the sky, its relentless heat bakes the earth, drawing moisture from soil and skin alike. The animals respond in turn. Elephants dig deep into dry riverbeds, unearthing hidden water. Lions shift their hunts to the cool veil of night, while antelopes seek the fleeting shade beneath lone acacia trees. The seasonal arrival of rain is more than a change in scenery. It is a signal that echoes through the senses of every creature. Frogs emerge from their burrows in chorus, insects erupt in swarms, and the air itself thickens with promise. For many, the timing of birth is calibrated to this cycle, ensuring that the vulnerable young arrive amid abundance rather than scarcity. But the rains bring unpredictability too, flooding burrows, scattering prey, and forcing predators to adapt or perish. Drought, when it comes, is a silent adversary. Grass withers, watering holes shrink to cracked mud, and competition intensifies. Herds fragment as they chase the memory of water, their ancient roots now fraught with uncertainty. Some species, like the resilient oryx, have evolved to endure on scant moisture, while others, less adapted, face the brink of collapse. Temperature swings, too, shape the daily routines of the wild. Reptiles bask in the morning light to fuel their hunt, while nocturnal creatures stir only when the world cools. Winds carry scents and warnings, dispersing seeds and scattering flocks. Even the rare storms, with their violent lightning and sudden torrents, carve new paths in the landscape, reshaping territories and rewriting the rules of engagement. Yet, in recent times, the balance is shifting. Patterns that once governed life for centuries are changing. Longer dry spells, unpredictable rains, and extreme events test the limits of adaptation. The animals, ever resourceful, press on, some shifting ranges, others altering diets, all bound by the unyielding necessity of survival. Weather and climate are not mere backdrops. They are the architects of opportunity and challenge. They set the tempo for the chase, the migration, the birth, and the inevitable struggle. In the grand theatre of the savannah, it is the unseen forces of air, water, and temperature that script the fate of every living thing, reminding us that in nature, the greatest power is often the one we cannot see. Beneath the surface drama of predator and prey, a subtler story unfolds, one woven from countless connections, forming the intricate web of life that sustains the savannah. Every blade of grass, every insect, every towering herbivore, and every elusive carnivore is a vital strand, linked together in a tapestry of survival. At dawn, a herd of wildebeest grazes upon tender shoots, their grazing reshaping the landscape. As they move, their hooves churn the soil, aerating the earth and helping seeds find purchase. The grasses, in turn, draw nourishment from the decomposed remains of past migrations, nutrients recycled by armies of dung beetles and microorganisms that toil unseen below the surface. Each act of feeding, each step, sets off a cascade of effects rippling outward. Birds follow the herds, feasting on disturbed insects. Jackals and hyenas lurk at the fringes, ever watchful for a misstep or a moment of weakness. Even the apex predators, the lions and leopards, leave behind a bounty for scavengers, vultures, beetles and fungi that transform flesh and bone into the building blocks for new life. The acacia trees, spiny sentinels of the plains, offer both shelter and sustenance. Giraffes delicately strip their leaves, while ants defend their host trees from leaf-eating rivals, rewarded in turn with sweet nectar. Elephants break branches and fell trees, shaping the woodland and opening sunlit clearings that foster fresh growth. Each species, from the smallest termite to the largest pachyderm, plays a role, some as architects, others as caretakers, many as both. Waterholes become crossroads where these connections converge. Crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, patient and still, while birds and mammals gather to drink, their presence attracting both predators and prey. Even the absence of one species can send shockwaves through this network. When the balance tips, grasslands may become desert, or woodlands may encroach upon open plains. Parasitic wasps control outbreaks of caterpillars that might otherwise strip the savanna bare. Oxpeckers ride the backs of buffalo, plucking ticks and alerting their hosts to danger. Even the humble fungi, locked in a silent partnership with plant roots, enable the flourishing of vast herds above. In this world, no creature exists in isolation. The fate of the mighty lion is entwined with that of the lowly termite. The survival of the great herds depends on the invisible work of beetles and bacteria. Every life is both giver and taker, a participant in a dynamic equilibrium that has evolved over millennia. Here, the web of life is not a metaphor. It is a living reality, complex and fragile. Each connection, each interaction is a testament to the power of interdependence, and as the seasons turn, the web is tested anew, revealing again and again that in the wild, survival depends not on strength alone, but on the strength of the bonds between all things.